Hi everyone, David Ward. It is Sunday, January 30th, 2022, 9:21 p.m. Hope everyone's doing okay today. I'm doing fine. Just been busy brainstorming on educational content and just got caught up on some news. Wanted to provide an update, then get back to work on educational content. Um, as I pointed out before, just like in 2014, its distribution period, how we had a sign of weakness in phase D as in delta, up thrust in phase D, down with a higher low, up thrust last point of supply event in phase D before falling down again with another sign of weakness, but this time in phase E, we went lower. Up thrust in phase E, higher low, up thrust last point of supply in phase E, multiple last point of supply events before falling down with another sign of weakness, a second sign of weakness in phase E, before what we were thinking could be another potential up thrust in phase E, higher low, but we didn't go up with an up thrust last point of supply event right here. This could be accumulation, but that's what we're thinking back then. Present day, note how we've kind of flirted with the 50 moving average, sign of weakness. 20, 50, 50 moving average. The yellow is the 20 moving average. 50 moving average, 50 moving average. Broke out above it here a little bit. This was our up thrust last point of supply event in phase D. Our up thrust in phase D was right here. Higher low than the previous low. Then an up thrust last point of supply in phase D. Multiple LPSs, LPSYs, last point of supply events, before another sign of weakness, this time in phase E as an echo. This could be considered an up thrust in phase E potentially if we're still in distribution. Are we going to come down with a higher low than the previous low? In other words, we could just ride right along here before going up again with another up thrust, but this be potentially a last point of supply event before then coming down with another sign of weakness. That's if we are still in distribution. We don't know that yet, but if we're still in distribution, if we are in the process of transitioning out of distribution into accumulation before going up with a sign of strength, that's why I'm also posting accumulation events where this could potentially be our selling climax. This sign of weakness in phase E could also be acting as a selling climax. We would have looked at all this period sideways before falling down with that selling climax as our preliminary support range. And if we have a selling climax, we would expect the price action to come up to or near at least the lower boundary of our preliminary support range. Well, that occurred. Came back down the very next candle to second test of support in phase A, then went up with a simple rally. It took a little bit longer to go up with a simple rally than the automatic rally. That's usually the case most often. And that simple rally came up to or near the lower boundary of our preliminary support range. That's if this is accumulation now. We came down with another test of support, but now we're in phase B as in Bravo. Went up with another simple rally. Could we be going down again with another test in phase B as in Bravo? That remains to be seen. I would note how I was pointing out the 50 moving average, 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 50 moving average. This magenta dotted line is 50 moving average. Are we going to keep flirting with this 50 moving average before coming down again? In other words, are we going to see multiple last point of supply events right here and just come down and not even see an up thrust last point of supply event if we are still in distribution? That's possible where we just have an upthrust in phase E, then multiple LPSYs, last point of supply events before going down again with another sign of weakness. That is possible. Don't assume we must have an upthrust last point of supply event before going down if we're still in distribution. That's why we use the indicators. This is the long-term group, 18-day, 19-day, 20-day, 21-day, or 3-week. Let me get the crosshair so you're not confused as much. 8-day, 15-day, 16-day is double the 8-day. That's there for pressure races, and we see the white energy could not make it above level 50 to create calls for upward pressure before in the 8-day before the red RSI in the 16-day could close below level 50 to trigger downward pressure. So it looks like downward pressure is still here for a bit. Does that mean that we can't have a potential reversal begin now? No, not necessarily. But right now it's not looking very good. We could be potentially heading down to this 50 moving average in the 3-week time frame over time. If the price action were to come up, the next candle, the red RSI, would be a little bit below level 40, but we would look at about 42 grand, 42,000, 41,500 as being resistance. This is the midterm group. 4-day at the bottom left. Let me go ahead and get the crosshair so it's not as confusing. 4-day is really not part of the midterm group. It's there for pressure races. The midterm group starts with the 8-day, 9-day, 10-day, 11-day, 12-day, 13, 14-day, or 2 weeks. Wow. The price action is right where Phoenix says it should be at the white lower, but man, this has potential to keep going down a bit more. We see the green already at the aqua lower in Phoenix, so we are at risk of falling to the aqua lower in the 2-week time frame. That's at 30,138 current. Well, excuse me, 30,538. 30,538 currently. Man, that moving average at 27 grand, the 100 moving average in the 9-day. Here the yellow 20 moving average went through our 50 moving average. We're on the verge of that now. We're not quite there yet. I'll remove the B bands, but I need to add a 20 moving average. So let's go and do that. Moving average and settings. Let's make it yellow. And let's make it a dotted line, circles. And let's make it a 20 instead of a 9 by default. All right, here you see where this is why I have this vertical timeline on here. That may be about where we're at, something, or could be more like, Okay, the reason I'm saying that is because of the level of the blue LSMA, the red RSI, just a little bit below 20. So yeah, I had it at the right place. Right there, the red RSI, just a little bit below 20. Green came down to the orange. Price action came down to the orange, which was at the 100 moving average. And note present day, orange lower B band. It's getting pretty close to that 100 moving average. All it takes is a period of downward pressure in lower time frames to push us down to that orange lower B band in this 9-day time frame. So let's have a look at lower time frames. Now we've gone from the midterm to the near term group. Uh-oh. Let's go and edit that so it doesn't bother me anymore. Let's change it to 42. Save. Let's also get the crosshair so it's not as confusing for you. 12-hour, 24-hour, 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, 6-day, weekly. We just got a new weekly. Green's acting like it's trying to come up. Don't assume it's coming up yet. This candle's just begun. It has not closed yet. This is saying our price action should be right at the aqua lower, and we are. We're subject to come down towards or within proximity of the orange lower B band that's currently at 26.5. Ooh. We have to look at lower time frames to see how possible that may be, when it could occur, if it could occur. We already know that this red RSI and blue SMA in this 2-day time frame, it was way too low. That's why the white lower B band is acting as resistance at 38K. I was wondering if the red RSI could get on up above level 20, but we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. Not that previous 2-day candle. It couldn't do it. Here we are at the beginning of the next 2-day candle that began about 3 hours ago. Note our red RSI made it up above level 50 to trigger upward pressure that lasts for how long? Till the white energy comes down to level 50. Well, the white energy was already down pretty low right here. If you got in, you'd rather that red RSI get above level 50 as soon as possible, not as late as possible. If it got across level 50 right here and the white energy's right there and not even showing any sign of coming down yet, still going up, knowing that when it does begin to come down, the price action's not going to come down. Why? The red RSI is above level 50. Upward pressure continues until the white energy comes down to level 50. Didn't the price action keep going up? Excuse me. Didn't the price action keep going up even though the white energy was falling? It most certainly did. Where present day, well, that red RSI didn't get in right here while the white energy was still going up, did it? Nope. It took its sweet time about getting above it after the white energy had already come down considerably. But that's also why our basis is acting as resistance. We're about where the price action is about where the Phoenix says that it should be. It's possible for this white lower to act as support. We'll have a look and see, because this could still be going sideways here for a little while. Why? Because they may not have accumulated enough Bitcoin yet on the altcoin Bitcoin pairs. They'd rather let BTC USD continue sideways, virtually no loss or no gain, but virtually no loss, zero, while still dropping Ethereum USD, Litecoin USD, Luna especially, Luna USD, because if they're dropping Luna USD and Bitcoin USD is going sideways, and let's say Luna USD goes down 10%, that means Luna BTC would go down 10%. That means they sold their Luna for what? BTC. They're accumulating BTC on the way down. Now, they might also use some of that BTC to continue knocking down Bitcoin, but in stages. See, right now, they don't want to knock down Bitcoin. They want to keep it going sideways so that they can accumulate Bitcoin on the altcoin Bitcoin pairs. That's my thesis anyway. Yeah, if that green keeps coming down, yeah, we're already looking at the aqua lower. 25,393 is our lower target. Is one of our lower targets, target number one, because it could come on down to the orange if we get downward pressure going. So let's have a look at lower time frames than the near term group to see if downward pressure is going. And we see the red RSI, blue SMA already below level 50, below level 50, below level 50, about to get below level 50, both of them. In particular, the red RSI is about to get below level 50 here. It's already below it, 49.52. If it can close there, that's triggered downward pressure that lasts for how long? Till the white energy comes up to level 50. Can the white energy in this 4 hour come up to level 50 to trigger upward pressure before the red RSI in this 8 hour can come down to level 50 to trigger downward pressure? Well, that remains to be seen. We're watching that. We already see the white energy. Let me get this off. We already see the white energy in this 2 hour up here. It could not close above level 50 to trigger upward pressure before the red RSI in this 4 hour can come down and close below level 50 to trigger downward pressure. Now, granted, this candle is not closed yet. We're 21 minutes away from it, but it's going to close below level 50 to trigger downward pressure. The 4 hour is. That lasts for how long? Till the white energy comes down to level 50. The blue LSMA is getting pretty close to level 50. These B bands are super tight, y'all. All in here. I mean, they are super, super tight. The immediate group, that blue LSMA may remain below level 50. This red RSI end up turning right back down in this 15 minute. See, the red RSI is getting above level 50 too late. It needed to get above level 50 on up here while the white energy was still rising. Let me change that 15 minute to 30 minute. Oh, yeah. This blue LSMA may end up acting as resistance, and the green end up coming right back down. We'll see. We'll see. That red RSI better get up above level 50 real quick. Why? To trigger upward pressure, number one. To try to get upward pressure races back to going again with the red RSI getting above level 50. To stop all this downward pressure that's going on right now. Will that occur? Right now, it's not looking like it. Because right now, the white lower B band is resistance, 37,434. White lower B band in the 90 minute is resistance. White lower B band in the 2 hours resistance, 37,490 is resistance. Might as well say just shy of 37.5 is resistance at the moment. If we did have a move up, that would be about where it would go to, where you'd look to short potentially. That would take a little bit. You'd want to see if this blue LSMA can come on down here, getting closer to level 50. Now we might still continue sideways here a bit, y'all. It would take a while in this 6 hour to begin to see. Well, I can't really make that statement. I was about to say the red RSI blue SMA needs to be down here at level 50 to see expansion. However, these B bands are so tight, y'all. I mean, they are super tight. They are super tight. Do not assume that the red RSI blue LSMA must be at level 50 in order to see visible.